vote yea or nay, whether the city is in favor or whether it will work or all these things. This is not what we're bound, this is not what we're for. We're an advisory committee only.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leonard, but I think there were a couple of misstatements in what you just said. So but as an advisory board, we can recommend to the city and propose that the city council adopt a resolution.
Yes, we can.
Yes,
but
we're not being asked right now as a group to pass a resolution. We don't have that authority.
I know.
And
We don't want
that's
this authority. We can read it and say, wonderful, it's a good idea, why don't you look at it?
Right.
And run it through the city and they can decide.
That's exactly
But that's not what we're sitting in. We're sitting with a resolution and we've got a vote to say yea or nay.
No, we're voting to say yea or nay to pass it on to the city council to consider it. That's exactly what we're doing. What you just said is we're passing it on to the city council. So what we've been discussing is a draft resolution to agree to pass on for city council's consideration for them to pass. So all we're doing is the initial step, which is we've got a cover letter that's in draft stage right now that we would have to agree on, and a proposed resolution to pass on to the city council for them to consider and approve.
Yeah, but the
So we're not doing anything.
The resolution is the part, we're not capable.
You're right,
As
we're
a
not
group,
capable
to
of.
even consider a resolution. So why?
We're
give it
completely
to the
capable
city?
in our advisory board capacity to consider a proposed resolution for the city council to consider and approve.
I think that's further than where we belong. I mean, that's just my
Our
thinking.
discussion has
It's
gotten
beyond
away
me.
from where we're
Okay.
supposed to be on our agenda,
There
so
we
we're
go.
gonna cease and desist and move on. We will discuss the resolution later. Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. We're doing something else, okay.
Alright, Anna is going to do a review
Unless
of.
anyone else has any more questions for our city council member. Okay, so, during the last meeting, it became obvious that I needed to review, verbally with everyone, the policies governing city of Waco boards and commissions, and I'll just briefly, go through this, obviously. And this is available, on our website. So, there was a reference made to the annual board reports, that's submitted to the city secretary by June 1st of every year. So we'll be preparing that, report here. Was our intention, the board's intention to do that in a February meeting and an April meeting, and we'll discuss the calendar later, but, and then the city secretary, that report is signed by the chair. The city secretary submits the combined reports to city council by July 1st. And so that's in all the years that I've been involved as being a board liaison, the way that the board makes recommendations available to city council. So within that report, summary of achievements and significant activities, a work program for the upcoming year, and then recommendations for city council action in the next fiscal year. So that's the major content of that report. And then there's a summary of recommendations of the minority, if there's a minority report, and then some other administrative things like attendance and that kind of thing. There's a lot about how to become a board member, when the board has meetings, administrative staff, Sheila and I help this board. Members of the public, citizens are welcome to attend, as all of you are aware. All official meetings of city boards, and they're posted and will be admitted to the meeting room up to the fire safety capacity of the room. I don't know what the fire safety capacity is. We might kind of have to skip over that part. And then it goes into when you can comment. So we have a time for public comment, and then the board discusses whatever motion is before them, and that's a time for the board to discuss. I'm paraphrasing here quite a bit. All recommendations, resolutions, reports, and findings of a board shall be submitted through established administrative procedures within the city to the appropriate city department or the city council. So that's what,
That's where we are today.
yeah, that's where we are today. The terms of the board, 2 years, starting October 1st. Usually no more than 2 consecutive terms, although city council may make a recommendation for that to be extended. And then the term advisory shall be added to the titles of all boards and commissions, as they're advisory in nature, with some exceptions. That was what Mr. Englander was referencing. But I'd be glad to send you, any board member, or anyone, a link to this, or you can find it on the boards and commissions page. If anyone has any questions, I'll try to answer.
I just found another book. I was going through my phone and I just found that book last week.
Alright, the next item on our agenda is consider and receive public comments and take action regarding proposed letter to the city council recommending passage of a resolution concerning transitioning the city to 100% renewable energy and appointment of a renewable energy transition board. Jennifer, are you gonna address this, or?
Sure. I provided a memo to Anna, which I believe she included in your packet, that provided some comments on this resolution, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
It's this one, it's like this, and then Jennifer has, made comments out to the side, if you have time to look at that.
This one, okay.
Jennifer, I had a question related to, it looks like, a couple of your comments, related to the creation of a new board. I had some initial questions on whether the city council would be able to create via a resolution a new board. Is that a mechanism that the city council can create a new board through? Because I was under the impression that they would then have to pass an ordinance, or, okay.
No, the council can create a advisory board through a resolution.
Okay.
I think my comment was more towards the duplicity. That's not the word. The duplicating efforts, having 2 boards. That was more what my comment was about.
Any other questions for Jennifer?
So I have reviewed as a board member Jennifer's comments and have created in collaboration with Alan, and some input as far as, the, intent and, language of the resolution. So I do have proposed, revisions to the resolution that address Jennifer's comments. So I don't know if that would be something that it would be all right to distribute to the board, and kind of consider line by line and kind of discuss how each proposed resolution sort of addresses Jennifer's concerns. Is that something that?
Well, I'll look to
Discuss.
legal, but it's my understanding, that we have
a
a motion on the
Okay.
table from the last meeting. So,
We
is
need
that
to
correct? We have to
consider
deal
that.
with that
So
motion
my
first?
understanding, and this is just from reading the minutes because I was not at the last meeting, my understanding is that there was a motion on the table that had been seconded, and y'all tabled it to this meeting, and so in order to consider the current draft resolution or any subsequent draft resolution, there's going to have to be a motion to take from the table the motion that was considered last.
So could I withdraw my motion to consider the existing resolution on the table and put a motion forth to revise the resolution to address your comments?
The first motion would be a motion to take from the table the last motion, and then that would have to be seconded and voted on, and then y'all could go from there.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Okay.
So, if you want to make the motion to withdraw, then we'll have to have a second and vote on that.
Yeah, so obviously we wanna address the city attorney's concerns.
Yes.
Like, I don't wanna
Yes,
put
we
forth
do.
the existing, with proposed revisions, so, yeah, I'll make a motion to withdraw the existing draft resolution and,
So the motion would need to be a motion to take from the table the last motion from the last board meeting. That needs to be the first motion, and then there needs to be a second and a vote on that.
Okay, and Larry, Larry, you seconded it? Okay.
Yeah.
I need a vote then to approve that we table, we take this motion off the table. And all in favor say aye.
Okay.